So what are your visions and strategies for leading New Relic in this new chapter?
Yeah, so a couple of things. First, let me talk about what observability means. I didn't know what it was, right? I was involved in it several decades ago. And then, so in a nutshell, it's the following, right? If you think about as more and more companies have become digital, right? Not just the native digital companies, but bricks and mortar, we've moved online. Everything has become much more magnified in terms of consequence. For example, we have a retail customer who on Black Friday, the requests their websites go from 1 request per second to 300 requests per second. They're shopping, right? And for every second that site's down, it means lost sales, the opportunity to go to a competitor. That's an example. Streaming platform is a perfect example, right? You don't want any glitches, right, on this streaming platform, right? When Paramount streamed the Super Bowl, as an example, which was the largest domestic view in an absolute sense in US history. It had 130 million viewers overall for the Super Bowl. Now, I think as a percentage, the moon landing got higher as a percentage, as a proportion, but this was...
And although it was the moon landing, I think we can understand.
It was the moon landing. Chiefs winning a American World Cup sport or something, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But the point is, those have to go flawlessly. And so that's one piece, the business piece. The technology piece is what's happened, Karen, is building those applications have become more complicated than ever. The reason that is because everything's moved in the cloud. You build with microservices, you build through multiple clouds. You could be in Azure, you could be in AWS, you could be in GCP, the geographic pieces. So stitching all of that together and finding out what's going wrong or what's going right on a real-time basis is very difficult. And so what observability players like ourselves, leading observability players, we're able to stitch all of that together and tell you if there's a problem before the problem occurs. So that's observability, right? And so where are we going as a result? Lucerne invented the space. And so he invented the space back in 2008. And essentially we made it a big data problem. So look, if we can get a bunch of data, we can then tell you what's going on with your platform and how to thwart any issues ahead of it. And so where are we going? The market, there's a few different areas in terms of a few different areas. One is the observability space overall is looking at 3 major trends. The first is AI, right? The answer is AI, what's the question, right? Type thing is the thing. So there's a big space, there's a big area where we're going to play there. And we were the first to release AI capabilities in this space. The second is we want to democratize observability. There are roughly about 50 million engineers out there, only about 2 million are using observability. And so there's a huge opportunity for us to democratize, get more people to use it, not just with the practitioners, but also the business owners. Because as a business owner, you'd want to know if your application is up on Black Friday or not. And then I think the third area where you'll see us move into is there's some very logical adjacent spaces like cybersecurity that you'll see observability move into. So we're big players in all 3.
Great. Oh, thanks for making that so understandable. You mentioned Super Bowl, Black Friday. How do you work with giants like Paramount and Verizon, and obviously your retail customers, to get ready for high traffic events like that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Now, look, I wish, and I do say the product speaks for itself. It's a really good product, and people have built processes around it. However, big events like that, we internally have essentially a hyper-vigilant mode that we have which for something like a Super Bowl or a Black Friday or whatever, a Formula One streaming event, whatever that is, those type of events, we have a process in which we do some pre-checks with the customer. We're standing by with everything that we can to support those type of events. They're too high stakes for us not to.